If you want to see a video about beautiful Broch, the views, the sea, the lochs, the historical locations, all, then this video really isn't for you. This is about the different Broch, the hidden Broch, the Broch that the public don't see. And I really do hope you join me and enjoy it, and give a great review at the end. Thank you.
Today we're in Golspie, a small village in the Scottish Highlands, and we're going to head along a northern coastal path to visit an ancient Iron Age fortification called Carn Liath broch. As we make our way north, we pass another great historical site, Dunrobin Castle. Dunrobin Castle, family seat of the Earl of Sutherland and the Sutherland clan, is located about 1 mile from Golspie. Constructed in parts as early as the 12th century, the oldest surviving part of the castle dates back to 1401, with most of the visible structure being completed around 1845. The castle is steeped in a very gruesome history. In 1514, Alexander Sunderland captured the castle from Clan Gordon. The Gordons quickly retook the castle and Alexander fled. 4 years later, in 1918, at the Battle of Alacactulan, Alexander Sutherland was defeated. The Gordons captured Alexander, decapitated him, and placed his headless spear at the top of Dunrobin Castle. Quite gory stuff. Back to the present, the castle is open during the summer season, and they have falconry, museums, and tours of the very extravagant interior. And finally, after about 20 minutes more walking, we arrive at Carn Liath broch.
Behind me is the broch, so let's go check it out.
Very little is known about the people that inhabited these ancient ruins over 2,000 years ago. It's impressive that they remain in such great condition. Brochs can be found in abundance in the northeast of the Highlands, and this one is no exception. It is just one of many that we'll visit in this series. They used to stand up to 15 metres tall. Weathering and repurposing of their stones has shortened them over the centuries. Archaeologists excavated these in the Victorian times, learning more information regarding the structure and possible uses, but still nothing really conclusive. In the 1800s excavation conducted by the 4th Duke of Sutherland, this guy, who owned the castle we just walked past, uncovered many artifacts from the inhabitants. Some, like this Iron Age brooch. All of the artifacts from the excavations are in the Dunrobin Castle Museum. As brochs go, this one is in stunning condition. The main features of the broch are very visible, and the staircase is still intact. You can really explore freely at Carn Liath, even go inside the guard chamber of the broch. A further excavation in 1986 uncovered a Bronze Age burial site, which means that this mound or location was inhabited potentially 4,000 years ago, up to 2,000 years before the broch was actually built, the structure that we see today. Only from this sky can you really see the vast size of the settlement, where you can see the outlining buildings and where walls used to be, of the ancillary buildings and habitats that would surround the main structure. All in all, it's a great example of an Iron Age settlement, and if you're in the Highlands it's definitely worth a visit, and it's just past Golspie on the A9. And as normal in these videos, I will hand you over to Professor Tony, an archaeologist and an expert in Highland brochs and settlements. Over to you, Tony.
Good morning. We're now going to do a brief walking tour of this ancient broch, if you'd like to follow on. Like all homes, this is obviously the main entrance. If you're taller than 5'10", please watch your head. I don't know what's in there, but we're not going in because I certainly can't be bothered. This is obviously the main living area, where on Friday nights they probably had some handy mead-based alcohol, got drunk. Even cavemen had to have downtime. That's about it really. It's all... Oh, he wants to go up the steps. We'll go up the steps. Mind your head. And we have a fantastic view of the surrounding area and woods, and of course the sea. That concludes our fantastic Broch tour. I need food.
Hungry from our expedition, we were very lucky to find a food truck parked about 20 metres across the road from the Broch that we were at. So I got myself a cheeseburger, which by the look of the van I wasn't really expecting much, but to be honest it was pretty good. And my dad, sort of a bit of a fatty, went for the full fry up, which I think he equally enjoyed. We now make our way further north from Golspie to Broch on the coastal path, and it is pretty cool if you don't mind the wonky bridges made from doors, nettles and overgrown paths, but it is quite a good walk. And once you've passed the rugged terrain and you've conquered the dangerous drawbridges, you get past the coves. It's only a short walk to the waterfall, which is kind of pretty. So just about 1 mile from Broch, we were visited by all these insects, which were cool at first, and then they just seemed to get more of them and more of them and more of them until we were in the middle of some sort of swarm. We were sort of hoping they weren't the bitey type, which they weren't, so that was kind of cool. And my dad put his spiritualist hat on and decided that he would speak to the insects and see what spiritual message they had for him.
Our friends are speaking to us. I love you too. I love you all. Thank you, Mother of Moon Goddess, for this signal, for your love.
And after a bit of research, we worked out that they're actually kelp flies or seaweed flies, and they were in some sort of mating frenzy, so quite harmless. I imagine some people would find that quite irritating, but hey ho.
Afternoon. We're here live in Broch, and ahead of us, in the distance, is a colony of seals who are sunbathing without sun, because obviously they're on holiday. So what we're going to do is put the drone up and investigate further. Thank you. Scramble, scramble, scramble. Acknowledge.
So these are grey seals, and they're very common in these parts of Scotland, and you'll find them in abundance basking on seaweed and rocks, and pretty much all along the coastline. So we thought we'd get a couple of shots, but the weather and light wasn't really that great. And then a sort of freak rainstorm or shower appeared, and I had to sort of quickly land the drone. But all in all, I think that capped off a good day. So I'll see you next time.